Good afternoon, everybody. This afternoon session is dedicated to class 10 literature poem 2 Fire and Ice Well by Robert Frost. You may ask the question, sir, what is this title Fire and Ice signifying? Yeah, this title, the very title Fire and Ice, is contrasting to each other. Fire is symbolic of desire. Fire is symbolic of passion. On the contrary, ice is symbolic of hatred and indifference to one another. See, the poet is analyzing in this poem the two causes which will be responsible to make this world completely perished. This world will end either in fire or in ice. That means the world will end due to the hatred which is increasing day by day among human beings, or among race and race, among humanity, among the people of different faiths. In this similar way, fire, which is symbolic of desire, too much of desire, too much of passion, too much of, need, will certainly end this world into, completely demise. This world will completely end to nothing if we are having too much of desire, too much of passion. So the poet is giving this central idea, that is the central idea around which this poem is revolving is equality, mutual understanding, love, sympathy, and peace can bring this world to an established tranquility. Only love, equality, and mutual understanding can help establish peace on this earth. So this is the central idea. Unless and until human beings love each other, unless and until we people understand each other and develop mutual understanding, forgetting about the differences, and love one another, there is going to be an ultimate destruction of this world. The poet is trying to analyze these two causes which will be responsible for the end of this world. The first one is that fire, which is symbolic of passion and desire, can probably end this world, or if not, then ice, which is symbolic of hatred and indifference towards one another, this will also be good enough to bring this world to a destruction. And therefore the poet is analyzing the two causes which will be attributed to the end of this world. The lines that in the first stanza, the Robert Frost poet says, some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. Yeah, look at the line, beautiful line. World will end in fire, some say. SS, that is alliteration. Some say in ice. Some of the people are of the opinion that this world will end in fire. That means, passion and desire will ultimately lead this world to destruction. And from what I have tested of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. The poet is of the opinion and perhaps favors those people who believe that fire will be responsible for destroying this world. So the poet favors those people who believe that fire is the cause of destruction and it is going to lead the world to destruction. So the poet is now analyzing about the end of the world. The poet provides and deals with two possible causes for the end of the world. He considers the age-old questions whether this world will end in fire or in ice. On one side of the debate are those people who are in favor of fire, and they believe that this fire, this too much of desire, too much of passion, will certainly lead this world to destruction. On the contrary, some people have this opinion that ice, which is symbolic of hatred and indifference, will also lead this world to destruction. So, Frost is providing a powerful statement on the subject of greed and jealousy. That the greed and jealousy are two such, weaknesses of human being which are going to be responsible for the end of this world. And therefore, hatred, greed can be the possible cause of the destruction of the world. In the second stanza, the poet says, "But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for a destruction, ice and would suffice." Suffice means sufficient. In the second stanza, the poet is contrasting the opinion of those people who believe that fire is going to end this world. He says that there are some people who have this faith in or in themselves that hatred which is symbolic of ice, coldness, that hatred will certainly end this world one day. It will be the increasing hatred on this earth, the increasing, indifference to one another of among the humanity is going to end this world. And lastly, the poet concludes by saying that maybe that either the world will end in fire or in ice. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the way the speculations are being made by the people, that it appears that sometime ahead in our future, hatred is going to lead us and devour peace of the earth, and destruction of the world is going to be probable, because human being lack understanding between themselves, and the way they are increasing the hatred for one another, the increasing hatred among the communities, the increasing indifference among the communities probably will be the cause of destruction of the world. And thus we come to conclude that the world will either end in fire or in ice. Either it will end in due to the increasing passion and desire, or it will end due to the increasing hatred and indifference to one another. And therefore, the only message that Frost wants to convey is that let us stand by together and understand one another. That means let us develop mutual understanding and let us develop tolerance for one another. Then and only we can save this world from an ultimate destruction. Otherwise, what will happen? That the increasing hatred, the increasing coldness, that means hatred, will be so powerful that one day it will lead to the destruction of the world. And so we should try to establish peace by developing mutual understanding and by developing, a kind of understanding, and that will lead us to peace and prosperity. That is what Frost wants to convey through this poem, Fire and Ice. So, fire symbolizes passion, desire, and ice symbolizes hatred and coldness, or rather you can say hatred and jealousy. Hatred and jealousy are equally fatal to destroy this beautiful world. In the similar way, passion and desire are equally dangerous to end this world. And therefore, the need of the humanity is to develop and to establish love, mutual understanding, and sympathy for one another. Then only we can save this world from ultimate demise and ultimate destruction. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.